Hey, this is Jeffrey Pepper Rogers here for Acoustic Guitar, and on my screen is an application called Capo 3 that I have up and running on my MacBook Pro. And this is a program for helping you learn how to play songs on guitar, and I'm just going to run through some of the features to let you know what you can do. The first thing that happens when you open Capo 3 is you load a song from your iTunes library, and any song ought to work as long as it's an unprotected file. So for this demo, I've chosen a song by the Milk Carton Kids called Honey Honey. Here's it.
Honey, won't you please sing another song?
So when you load a song in Capo 3, you're greeted with a screen like this, and let me run through some of the things that you can do. So down here on the lower left corner, we've got speed and pitch controls. So this is a pretty fast song. It could definitely come in handy to slow it down for learning it. So using this slider, I'm going to take this down to half speed, and I get this. And you can tell from that little sample that even though it's slowed down to half the speed, the program maintains the pitch. So I could take it down even further, down to 25% of the original speed, and get this. Yeah, it sounds really weird like that, the vocals especially. If for any reason you wanted to speed it up, you could also take it to 150% of the original tempo and get this.
Honey, won't you please?
That would be a real good flat picking workout to play the song at that tempo. So those are the speed controls. Under pitch, can take the pitch up or down by 2 octaves. So if I go way up, yep, I can turn the Milk Carton Kids into Alvin and the Chipmunks. Down the other way, I get that demonic sound if I go down 2 octaves. So more likely that you'd want to just change it by a little bit. Say if the recording, on the recording, a guitar is tuned down a half a step, but you're in standard tuning, you could bring the recording up to pitch with you rather than tuning your guitar down to match the recording. So that's very handy. So up here on the upper right, let me run through some of these controls. Under Effects, you can use EQ to hear a guitar part more clearly. There's also a voice reduction feature you can use to hear a little less of the vocal and maybe hear the guitar part better. Under Beats, you can adjust the time signature, enable a metronome. When you load a song into Capo 3, it's analyzing where the beats fall, and you can make adjustments to that here. Of most interest probably are these features under Notes. As you can see here, it's on guitar, but if I open up this menu, there are options for 4-string, 5-string, 6-string bass, mandolin, ukulele, and 5-string banjo. So it's showing guitar chords down there right now, but if I wanted to change them to mandolin chords, a little click, and I've got mandolin chords or ukulele. So could come in very handy for switching instruments. Below that is a huge long list of tunings. I believe there are 55 here, so it's in standard tuning right now, but I could switch it over if I wanted to know what this was like in open D tuning, for instance. I could just do that with a click. And then under that, there's a capo menu. So right now it's set with capo at the 10th fret because that is how Kenneth Pattingale plays the lead part in the Milk Carton Kids, but could change this to any other position, put it at the 5th fret, etc. Here it is at the 10th fret for now. So looking down here at the chords, when you load a song into Capo 3, it's going to detect the chords, and it will not get them all right. It will miss some chords, and it'll get some of them wrong. So you need to go through and kind of clean them up, which is a pretty easy process. You click on these chords, you can hear them, double click on it, Here's a bunch of alternate ways to play a G chord. If I wanted to change it to a different G fingering, I could change it to an E minor. I could also just type in a different chord. Now I put in D, and here are a bunch of D fingerings. So can change the fingerings like that. You can also have the program detect a chord in a particular spot where it might have missed it. You can hear a chord change and didn't get it there. That's another way you can kind of clean up the chord changes. So you need to use your ears for this process. And it's worth noting that a new version of Capo 3 is coming soon. It uses a whole different and new chord detection engine that's supposed to be a lot more accurate. So this may actually work a lot better soon, but even now it definitely gets you in the ballpark of the right chords, and it's a pretty quick process to adjust it as needed. So last thing to show is just this part in the middle. It's called the spectrogram, these fuzzy gray shapes. This is a representation of all the pitches in the track, and you can use this to generate some tab, which is what you see down here. So the way you do that is basically you click on the spectrogram to find the pitch that you want, and you just draw a shape over it. So when I just drew that over the line here, it added a tab number down here at the bottom. So I can take that, I can move it later or earlier, I can move it up or down. I just moved that up, and you could see this change from a 2 to a 4. So in that way, what I did with these shapes is I just kind of sketched over the spectrogram, and I got this tablature down here. You can't edit the tablature directly. You have to change it up here on the spectrogram. So you can also, because on guitar you can play the same notes on different strings and different positions, you can change that here. I right-clicked on here, and I can change the string position, put that note on the 3rd string or the 5th string instead. So an interesting and kind of different way to go about transcribing something like a single note solo and generate tab. Not always easy to see exactly which pitch you're going for. So again, you need to use your ears, which to me is actually a good thing for the learning process, to be using your ears rather than just following what a program or what notation tells you. It gets you kind of engaged in the process. So those are some of the things that you can do with Capo 3. One important note, there is no way at this point to generate, print out a chart for your song. So this is a program designed for learning songs, not for generating charts. And a lot of people probably would be looking for that feature, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it come to Capo 3 in the future, because the developer's adding a lot of things. But for right now, what you get is what you see on screen here. And it's a real interesting program, sophisticated program, not too hard to figure out how to use, and a lot of useful tools for learning songs, changing the speed and pitch and capo position and tuning, even changing the instrument. So if you like using your computer to help you learn songs, help you learn things on guitar, it's definitely worth checking out. Again, the program is called Capo 3, and it's available on the App Store. It's for Macs only, and you do need Mavericks to run it. There is an iPhone, iPad version of it, which right now doesn't have a lot of the capabilities of the Mac version, but that may be changing too in the future. So it's worth a look. Again, I'm Jeffrey Pepper Rogers for Acoustic Guitar, and thanks for tuning in.